Hello, everybody. Here we are back in the studio. I want to introduce somebody. Excuse me. She is a director down at our local library here in Jackson County, Miss Ashley Wagers. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you, Danny.
I'm checking my camera here, making sure everything's going good. So, a lot of people don't know what all the library has to offer here in this county, and me and my wife and kids go there as often as we can. So that's why I wanted you to come on and just get the word out there about what all the library has to offer.
I appreciate that. I think that's so true. I know I've been there for 5 years as the director of the library. And when I first got there, that was one of my goals, was to see what the library has, see what our community needs, and to develop programs that our community needs, and then work on getting that communication out there, so people know, when they have certain needs or certain things in the community, they think of the library and think, they might be able to help me do this. Let's go down there and ask them. I wanted to have an open door policy at the library, and we have that now. You can walk in, talk to one of our librarians if there's something you need. We try our best to meet that need.
Oh yeah. Now, the last time we was down there, I mean, there's obviously books. You can rent movies down there, right? There's computers that's open to the public, Wi-Fi and stuff. And I thought about this the other day, in the instances where there's no school. And there's not everybody in the county has access to a computer, has Wi-Fi in their home. And when you've got these non-traditional instruction days in school, that can be a hub for people to come and utilize those computers on those kinds of days, right?
Yeah, I think that is a challenge. Luckily, there are some grants out there that our public school system has gotten over the years.
Okay.
So most students do have a Chromebook. And then there's that emergency connectivity fund that if you are in Jackson County, and if you don't know about this, this is something that we can help you at the library to get it set up.
Okay.
But you can get like waivers and like discounts on your internet bill at home through that emergency connectivity fund. So we don't see a lot of people using the library on non-traditional instruction days for that use, just because I think the school system has done a really good job at promoting that. But in some situations, like today, for example, when it was not an instructional day, the kids were just, an unexpected Tuesday where kids didn't have anything to do. We had, and it just blessed my heart to see them come in, but we had 3 teenagers come into the library today.
Oh, cool.
And they utilized our teen space. So if you don't know about our teen space, it was created during our recent renovation that was just opened or just finished last July. Yeah. And we have a switch that the teenagers can check out. We have a TV set up in our teen area. So they came in and they were there for hours today playing on the switch. So that is one of the, I think that people don't realize we have that. And if your child is over 12, you can leave them at the library.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can. It's in our policy. As long as they're 12, they can stay for a couple hours.
Yeah. Huh. Well, that's really interesting. I didn't know nothing about that. Yep. Now, you said the Switch, that's the Nintendo game?
Nintendo Switch,
okay, well, yeah, you'll probably, I didn't know that either.
And it's connected to a smart TV. So, everybody, you may come from a family that has a Switch, has every game that your child could possibly want. But there are those in this community that do not, that have never been able to play a Switch or have access to that. And you'll hear me say this probably several times today. Access equals opportunity.
Oh, absolutely.
And that is what the library was made for. So way years ago, when we were created to have books, that was a resource that people didn't have access to. Therefore, they didn't have the opportunity to get an education like others that had access to books would be able to do. So a library was created to have books. Today, it's the same concept, but it looks different.
Oh, yeah.
It's much more bigger than just a building of books.
Everybody in this county ought to be really proud of that library because it's my phone going off. I got to turn my Bluetooth off. But yeah, that's a really nice library. I don't know. It's really unfortunate that there's probably people that's never been in it, but I highly recommend people go down there and check it out because it's just a wealth of knowledge is all it is. It's an opportunity. And I like to read. You know, my wife likes to read. And I think that's lost on a lot of people maybe this day and age, the want or the need or the interest to read. Give it a shot because your imagination can run wild inside of a book.
Yes, it can. This year we had 236 new cards issued. So that's 236 awesome. People that didn't have library cards before. And most of them would come in and they hadn't been in the library before. So I feel like we're doing a good job at getting the information out there of the resources that we have available because your library card doesn't just give you access to books. We have online resources that you can access right from your home. So if you never come to McKee to come into the library, we still have things that you can utilize and that is valuable to you through access with your library card. And those are found on our website.
Okay. What is the website?
You shouldn't ask me that. If you go, the best way to find it, the website, I didn't make the website up, so the best way to find our website is if you just go to Google, you type in Jackson County Public Library, McKee, Kentucky. It's the first one that pops up.
That's probably what I do anyway.
Yeah. It's like www.jacksoncolib.com, I think, but that could be completely wrong. It's something like that. But
everybody's probably like me. Anytime they need something in the county, just Jackson County, whatever, and it'll pop up. Yeah.
Just make sure you put McKee. There are about 5 other Jackson County public libraries in America. So.
Yeah, they are. Now, what's the hours of the library?
So we are open Monday through Saturday. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we're open 9 till 5. On Tuesday and Thursday is our late day, so we're open until 6. And then on Saturday, 9 to 12. And then we have regular programming during those hours for kids and for adults, but we also do after hours programming because I know a lot of times our working parents, they can't come to a program if it's before 5. So a lot of our programs are typically on Thursdays, usually around 6 or 7 is when we do our outside programs.
Now I noticed this just the other day, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but there's a playground on the side of that. Side of that library. That
is something I'm extremely proud of.
Yes.
Back in 2022, I applied for what's called a Still Reese grant. And so the library got $50,000.
That's awesome.
To make an outside classroom. So it's closed right now because of the weather.
Oh yeah.
But in the spring it'll be open back up. It's got toys. It's got a sandbox. It's got a mud kitchen. It's got there's like stepping stones that kids can learn to count on.
Yeah.
There's balance boards. There's a bench out there that parents can sit on. We've got reading tables and seats. There's bouncy balls. There's jump ropes. And it's all for you to use for free.
That's awesome.
You can also reserve that area if you want to for small group gatherings. So like a lot of the school coordinators will reserve that area, and they'll do like there's Save the Children does a program where they talk with new moms, and so the new moms will bring the kids down there and they can play, but they can also talk to the Save the Children representative and
that's awesome
opportunities with
see them. People need to know about those things right there because Lord, that's something that I believe everybody would want to utilize.
Yeah.
Whether or not you need it or not, or whether or not you think you know what you're doing with a new kid.
And it's safe. The outdoor classroom is safe. The only way to access it is through the library.
Oh, that means a lot.
It means a whole lot because I have kids. I have a 8-year, 9. She's 9 now, and 12. And I remember when they were babies, and that was one thing that made me reach out and search for a grant to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Is I would go to the parks, and the county or the city or whoever takes care of it. I'm unsure about all that, but they do the best they can. But when it's just open and there's no boundaries, I never felt completely safe with just letting my kids run around.
I know what you mean.
But we monitor that, so it's on camera and it's locked down. So if we're not open, nobody gets in.
That's a good peace of mind. I know I'm the same way. Whenever we go somewhere, whether it be a bounce house or somewhere like that, and it's a big place, you know, and you kind of feel. I am really hesitant about letting my boys just run off by themselves. I like to keep my eye on them all the time. Yep. So the fact that there's just one way in, one way out, yep. that means a lot.
Yep.
So you can let them go do their thing, and you can go in the library and read or whatever. And
our children's library area is set up the same way. So when I first started there, it had an opening. So like the kids could run from the adult area to the children's area. We have now got a door that can be shut, so parents can go into the children's area with their kids. There's no fear of them darting out.
That's cool.
into the
awesome.
Main area. And our children's area has also been renovated. It's colorful. It's vibrant. Miss Kim is our children's librarian. She used to be a preschool teacher at Sand Gap Elementary. She is incredible. So we have a lily pad program that meets every Friday. And then we have a story time in Sand Gap program, which kind of takes lily pad to Sand Gap. So it's the same program, but it is developed for early education and also for parents. So in the children's library, she has little, we call them toy kits, that parents, homeschoolers, teachers even can check out these kits. And these kits have themes. So for example, we have a transportation kit. So you can take that home. It's got books about cars, books about buses. It's got little cars, little buses, just things that, that they can look at and connect the dots and learn. Connect books to things that's actually, in life. And then we have another kit, for example, that is about life systems, and a teacher requested this kit. So teachers can call us and request a kit, that, they may not have in their budget to be able to get for their classroom. But they can contact us, and if it's a kit that we think other teachers would want to check out, or homeschool families would want to check out, they can use it as an educational supplemental material. And so, that little bit of money that we can pull from our budget can help everybody's budget.
Oh, absolutely.
And working together, things go a lot farther.
That's cool. Now, I've seen on your all's Facebook page that y'all have like events during the holidays and stuff like that, right? Like Christmas, I think y'all had something going on and some other events. So you all participate in even more than what you're saying here with just the
I actually
holidays.
wrote down all the things that we do because I knew I would forget, because I knew you were wanting to try to share in our community about the things that people can go to and do here in the community.
Absolutely. Tell it all.
We have programs that we call our in-house programs is what we call them. It's programs that the library does at the library. Those are things like the lily pad, which is for the babies that I talked about earlier. We have adult programs. So like I know in the coming next month, we're going to be making candy bouquets. And so that's something you can register for. And we provide all the material. Everything's free. And you can, which it's full.
Okay. I figured it probably would be.
The best way to keep up with our program is to follow our Facebook page and, that website I was telling you about, put that in your favorites on your tab where you can just check it. Oh, yeah,
and I'll link all this in the show notes of this episode, so you can just click on the Facebook page link and the actual website link, too.
Yeah. So the candy bouquet is, they are making literal Valentine's Day candy bouquets. So like with the candy bars, the cellophane wrap, everything. We have all the supplies together. Miss Kim walks you through how to make it. We do things like Build-A-Buddy, which is where we bring Build-A-Bear, which is very expensive.
Wow.
To the kids in our community that can't afford to go to Lexington to build a bear.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So we do Build-A-Buddy is what it's called. It's not just like Build-A-Bear, but it's very, very similar.
The same,
You get a teddy bear shell and you get your stuffing. You stuff the teddy bear. We put a little heart inside, do a little cute little jingle that Miss Kim does with the kids. And so they make their own teddy bear.
Wow.
We usually do that every year for one program during our summer reading, and it gets filled up very quickly. When registration gets put on there, the spots are gone within like 30 minutes.
That's awesome.
Because we can't do 150 bears. Our facility's not big enough to have that many kids building bears. But we try to offer them, just different things that everybody would want to participate in. So those are in-house programs. So you come to the library to participate in. But what we're really working on is also doing community programs. So you were talking about the Christmas and and those kind of programs. So one of our biggest programs that we do is the Boo Fest. I'm not sure if you
I don't know if I've seen that or not.
It is on Water Street, right behind the library. We had 21 community partners come.
Oh, sweet.
It's sort of like Boo on Main in London, if you've heard of that. It's exactly like Boo on Main in London, except it's right in Jackson County. Mm-hmm. You don't have to drive all the way to London. We had 21 vendors set up. This year, we had 388 kids that walked through. It was continuously streaming of children coming through in their outfits. It was beautiful.
That's awesome.
And just, it ties our community together. People can see us working together when we do, community events like that. So we try to promote stuff like that. We have our Whoville party every Christmas. And this year and next year we'll be doing the same. So make sure to, I know that's far in the future, but we do.
Well, it sounds like you need to know way in the future to get a spot.
we do our Whoville party. So the library is decorated like Whoville. So the librarians are dressed up like elves and or just, fancy Who village people. And then we have Santa there and we have the Grinch.
My boys are crazy about the Grinch.
Yeah, so you can get a picture taken with them, which kind of leads me into another program that we do, which is our food box program.
Okay.
We have a food box program because we have seen over the last, probably since the pandemic, the insecurity that people have for food in this community, and I had no idea before I started working at the library. I had no idea.
Yeah.
The food insecurity that was there. So our bookmobile, which is a library on wheels, books on wheels. Mm-hmm. One program that she does is our food boxes. It kind of started out as a way for our patrons to. There's food box programs in the county, but you have to go and get them.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't have either transportation or the gas money to get to pick up these food boxes. So our bookmobile patrons, some of those fell in that category. And so we asked if we could pick up the food boxes for them and deliver them on our routes.
Well, yeah.
And so that's kind of how our food box program started. And so now we get donations of food. We'll go to like CAP and different places. They'll find out we're doing this and they'll send us food. So anytime we can get food, we take it and we distribute it among our bookmobile patrons and also Kentucky Home Place patrons.
Wow.
That Kentucky Home Place is, it's not the library, but it is located inside the library. It is a Kentucky health worker through UK, the University of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. So I know that he helps people with, from, getting help with your electricity to getting clean water to, he even can get people prescription eyeglasses.
Wow.
So if you have a need in that area, you can come to the library or call the library and talk with Kentucky Home Place. And so we partnered with them to complete our food box program. So we have about 15 to 20 people on the food box program list. And we make sure that it's not duplicated. So like if they're getting a food box from somebody else, they don't get one from us too.
Oh yeah.
So we make sure we talk with the other providers of the food in the community. But back to our Christmas thing this year, we did a food drive. So if you brought canned food, didn't matter how much, you could get a free picture with Santa.
Oh yeah.
So we got a wealth of donations from doing that. So, and it was just our first year, and a lot of people didn't even know about it. So when they come in, we were telling them, we'll try to promote it and make sure everybody knows next year that you can donate food and you get a free picture with Santa, and it's an actual 4x6 printed out photo that you pick up the next week.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a sight that there's so much that can benefit people down there and from the library. A lot of people, when you think library, you think books. Mm-hmm. But that's amazing that there's so much available down there to people.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's for the ones that need it, it is astronomical in value.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've helped people like I just think of stories that we've had, because when people walk in, we don't know what they're what they're coming for many times.
Right.
I've helped an older gentleman who come in, and he had gotten an iPad from his daughter who did not live here. So he lived here alone, and he was older.
Yeah.
He didn't have when you're an older generation, you didn't grow up using iPads or using computers.
Right,
It's a little bit of a challenge to navigate, and he was wanting to FaceTime his daughter. So he brought it in. He's like, she said you all could help me. And I was like, yes, we absolutely can. I'm so glad that you came.
Yeah.
And by the time he left, I had even had him signed up to do a grocery pickup list.
Really?
So,
I don't even know how to do that.
So he was thankful to have that assistance. And that assistance is through our Check Out a Librarian program is what we call that.
Okay.
So you can come in. There's 5 of us that work down there that can do the Check Out a Librarian program. There's me, the director. I'm Ashley. There's Dylan. He is Dylan Harrison. He works at our front desk. So when you come in, he is what you would say classic librarian. He is the one who's checking out books, turning books in, signing you on the computer. But he also does other things like set you up for a free email. You won't believe the amount of people that don't know don't have an email. And so when you apply for a job, the first thing they ask you is for an email.
It sure is.
So we get that all the time. People coming in, they're like, I'm supposed to apply for this application, but it says I need an email. Can you help me with that?
Yeah.
And I was curious to know. So I went to Office Depot and I asked them, how much is it for you all to help me set up an email? You want to guess what they were going to charge me?
It's untelling.
It was $50.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
$50?
Yes. And so at that moment I was like,
I was thinking 10, 15.
Yeah. And it might have changed since then.
It's probably got higher.
Yeah, I don't know. And so whenever I asked him, the guy had to call on somebody to ask. So it's not something that people feel comfortable even going into Office Depot. But like I was just trying to think, if I needed help signing up for an email and I didn't know about the library, where would I go?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, an office store, like a computer store.
That's what I would think.
Yeah. So I went, and that was the answer that they gave me, and I just felt like standing at the front door of Office Depot and just handing out library cards.
Yeah.
And saying,
don't do it here.
Don't do that. We do printing, we do faxing.
Yeah. I've used the fax machine down there several times.
And a lot of people utilize that for us. If you don't print a lot, ink is expensive. And if you buy a printer from the store, it's going to dry up. And every time you go to print one page, you're going to have to buy a whole new thing of ink.
Yep, that happened to me just the other day.
Yeah, so I tell people, don't, come to the library. That's what we're here for, is to help you, with the things that you need. Last year, we printed... I wrote that down. We did 117,317 prints and copies.
Wow.
Is how much that just Jackson County used to
print. That's awesome.
At the library. So it's called Check Out a Librarian, back to what I was talking about before. And so you can check out Dylan. He sits at the front desk and does that kind of stuff. The children's librarian. So like if you need help with homeschool resources or, just anything, you can check Kim out.
Yeah.
And then my assistant director, her name is Emily. And so me and her, we can help with whatever, like from common, just signing up for an email to a more complicated, I need help with my resume. A lot of job applications and stuff are now online, or they're on Indeed.
Yep.
Or places like that. And it's hard to navigate those systems if you aren't used to using a computer or aren't used to using those kind of platforms.
Yeah.
They can be overwhelming.
They are for me.
Yeah. Or we've also helped people with unemployment. So like during the pandemic, people were trying to we had a lot of this during the pandemic to do their unemployment reports. So we're not employed by unemployment. We're not lawyers, and we're not certified to do any of those type of things. So I just have to put that disclaimer out there.
Yeah.
But if you come in and you've got something you need printed, off of a website, we can go to that website and help you navigate that website and get it printed. If you're wanting to apply for a job at the Dollar General and you just can't get to the application where you need to apply for it, you can come in, we can sit down and help you do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. There's definitely a whole lot to be taken advantage of down there. Now you say the bookmobile. I remember the bookmobile when I was little. So it's been going since I'm in the single digits. I'm 43. I know it's been going for at least 30 years, right? I would imagine.
I wish I knew that off the top of my head.
I know it's been going since I'm a little boy.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a great thing. Now, the donations, can anybody donate to the library, or do they have to go through a certain process, or what?
You can donate, and we have a donation form that we can give you if you need it for tax purposes. I know that's important to some businesses if they want to donate something. We do have that capability of giving you a printout of what the value was of what you donated.
Okay.
We don't take anything with any stipulations.
Right.
So if you have something that your great grandmother gave you and you want to put it in our Kentucky room, it may be relevant today, and we'll put it in there, and it will get lots of attention.
Yeah.
But 100 years from now, we don't want to have a stipulation that we have to keep that forever.
Oh yeah.
So anything that anything that you donate to the library, whether it be books or food or what have you, we have the authority to turn it away and say that we don't want that.
Well, yeah.
But also, if it's something we want in our collection, we keep it.
Yeah.
If it's something we don't want, we have in our foyer. It's called our donation shelves.
Okay.
So we'll put anything from food to hygiene products to books out in that foyer. And so we do have in the foyer right now, for free at any time if it's available, we have our hygiene and care cabinet. So what we keep in that, we've got toothbrushes sometimes, we've got hand sanitizer sometimes, we've got Clorox swabs sometimes, sunscreen in the summer we'll put out there in our hygiene and care cabinet. And you can come in and just take those things.
Now, can you just come in and put those things there?
You can.
Okay.
We do like for you to tell us because we don't want you just dropping stuff off. If you just drop something off, we'll go get it and go through it and then.
Oh yeah, you got to do that.
Yeah. But you can bring stuff. There's one lady that brings us. She crochets soap. Little soap. I don't know. They're like, you put soap in them and
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like little soap
called?
bags or
yeah.
I don't know what they're called.
But
like little loofahs or something.
Yeah. She crochets them and then she provides the soap. She puts soap in them and then we can put those in that for
That's cool.
Yeah, she has donated that. Kentucky Home Place will donate things to that. We've had the Appalachian Project, they've donated things to our hygiene cabinet. So there's anything that could benefit someone's health or well-being qualifies for our hygiene and care cabinet. So even toiletry items, diapers, stuff like that, we've put in our hygiene cabinet. So
now, on that shelf, did you say you can put food out there?
Mm-hmm, yep.
Okay, because I imagine you have to be like really careful with food because of allergies and stuff like that.
It is. It's kind of like it's not necessarily distributed by the library. It's kind of like what I know you've probably seen, and I love the idea of the little cabinets that they've put in Sand Gap, and there's one in Pond Creek.
Yes,
they're putting food in there. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like you take at your own risk kind of situation.
Okay.
Now, if we were distributing them like from inside the library, we always try to put a disclaimer up. If you've got allergies or whatever, you got to.
That's cool.
Be aware of that, just like Dairy Queen or anywhere else would.
Oh yeah. That's it's really amazing what all there is offered down there. I know that I've been down there with I think the first time we took our boys down there to the library, I think it was just to go to the library.
Yeah.
I don't think me or my wife needed anything in particular, but my boys had a blast in there. And I think they was 7 or 8 at the time. They're 10 now. Mm-hmm. And they could have stayed all day. And this was before the playground and all that stuff. So.
Well, they are going to want to come. Did you say they were 10?
They're 10.
Okay, so they're right at the cutoff. It's 10 to 17. We are having an un-Valentine's Nerf War.
Oh, I saw that.
Did you see that? Yes.
Yes, and I have some things I'm going to bring down there.
Awesome.
For that donation process.
Yes,
I saw
that. Awesome. So it's the day after of Valentine's Day, and we just wanted. It's un-Valentine's, so there's no pink, there's no gifts, there's no chocolate, you don't have to have a date. It is not related to Valentine's at all. But it's something that the kids come down. So I have a little boy. He's 13 or 12. This is the first time I think he's ever gotten so excited about a library program. So I've been there 5 years, and we've developed programs, and if we see something works, we keep doing it. If we see something that the community doesn't have a good turnout for it, we scratch it. But you don't know until you try something.
Got to.
So we've done several team programs, and nothing has just clicked with these kids. But we went to the middle school the other day to tell them about it.
Yeah.
And they were all just like so excited. Are you going to ride the bus down there? Are you going to ride the bus down there? Because, at their age, they can, if their parent will send a bus note, they can be dropped off right at the library.
Wow.
And so that we're going to have a pizza party right after school, and then we're going to close the library at 5 and do our 4 and do our Nerf War inside. Yeah. So
we saw that on Facebook, and my wife actually reminded me about it, and I said, that would be awesome. So my boys are Nerf War crazy, and they have several dozen of those things and thousands of the bullets and stuff like that. So I told them the other day, I said, boys, you ought to donate one or two of your things to the library. They was all about it. So I'm probably going to, when is that?
It's the 15th, the day after.
Okay, so I got time. Yeah, I got time. I'm in training at work all this week, so I'm going to bring them down there probably the first of next week. Yep. That'd be awesome. Yeah, you'll have a big turnout for that. Now, let's see, what was I going to say? It lost me. I got excited about the Nerf War.
You were talking about when you went down there the first time. Oh,
yeah. We was down there, and the boys, my boys like to read. Mm-hmm. They do like to read, and we kind of push that on them. They spend a couple hours a day on their video games and stuff like that. You gotta let them play some video games, but every night when they go to bed, they go and lay in their beds and they pick up their book and they read.
That's awesome.
And I read a lot. My wife reads every day, and the importance of reading, I believe, it's so much education can come from reading and just expansion of your mind and stuff like that. I really can't stress to people how important it is to read. Now, I'm going to tell myself a little bit here. I do most of my reading online, but I do read a lot. As far as for instance, podcasts. A lot of people like to listen. Is there books on tape down there and stuff?
Yes. So
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, we have our. It's called Libby. It's an app that you can download to your phone.
Oh.
You do have to have a library card to access it.
Okay.
Library cards are free.
Okay.
We can even send you a digital library card if you don't want to come down to the library. You can't check out any of our books, obviously, with the digital library card, but you can call us and get one of those. So Libby is part of a consortium.
Okay.
So several libraries pay a fee altogether so that we can have access to a lot of books.
Okay.
Our library, we have to weed books because if we kept every book we ever ordered, we would not.
You'd bust at the seams.
We're not an academic library or a historical library. We are a public library. So our collection, when we pick out our books, we pick it out for this community.
Yeah.
So we do all the ordering. The books that we get, we order, and we base those on what our readers read and what our readers ask for. And, we try to get, the New York Times best-selling authors, and we try to get the best of the best for our patrons. So if you come to the library and we don't have your author, it may just be because nobody in our community has ever asked for that author.
Yeah.
Not that we wouldn't want to get it for you. So if you are a patron and you come to our library, all you got to do is fill out a paper and say, I want some of these books.
Now, when you say patron, do you just mean owner of a library card?
Yep, have a library card.
So you can just say, hey, I want this book.
I want this book, Is
there a charge for that?
No, absolutely not.
I didn't think there was.
No. We circulated 40,518 books last year.
That's great.
No, that's total circulation. So that's books. That's our Libby books, our Overdrive, which I was telling you about on our app. That's our community spaces. That's our our computer use. That's also other items. So we have what's called a library of things.
Okay.
So we have fishing poles that you can check out.
Really?
Yes, we have calculators that you can check out. We have laptops that you can check out.
I didn't know all that.
Yes, and that list is growing. So like if there's something you needed but you didn't need it but for one time,
Yeah.
and it's something we would think somebody else might want for one time, and they don't want to just buy it, that's something we could consider to put in our library things. So that's the same process works with our library things as it does with our books. You fill out a paper, request it, and if we think it's something our community would want, we usually try to get it for them.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I didn't know nothing about that either.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, the things that we're doing. And part of that's probably our fault. Since I've been there 5 years ago, when I first started at the library, a lot of these things weren't in place, and I'm not doing this to toot my own horn. It was just a time. I just came in at the right time.
Yeah.
When things were changing, and we were just the library board was just looking for ways that the library could be more relevant to our community.
Yeah.
And so in the last 5 years, that's what we've been really honing down on and developing.
It shows. It really does.
And so now that's, we have sort of the communication thing. And one reason why when you messaged me to come on the podcast, I was like, yes, that's awesome. Yes, I would love to come. Because we want people to know that we're there. Like we want people to come. Like,
absolutely.
We want to help people. You would not be a burden. You would not be a nuisance. People come in all the time and they apologize for printing a paper from the computer and me having to get up and get it. And I'm like, no.
I did that once. I remember doing that.
That is
I was like,
what I'm here for.
Up.
Do not apologize. Please ask us for help.
Yeah.
That is what, we're librarians. That is what our job is to help.
Yeah.
Our patrons, our community members that come in.
Every single time that I've been in there, and I haven't been in there in a while, I'm not going to lie, but every time that I've ever came in that library, everybody is like so ready to help, and they're smiling and happy and friendly, and it's just a really relaxing environment.
And you don't get that everywhere.
No, you don't.
I say this all the time. The library is probably the last remaining democratic institution in America where it's for you. It's not, I'm not elected.
Right.
So, it's my job to help you. So come in and ask. The worst thing we can say is, no, we can't do that. But I have a bad habit of not saying no, even when I probably should sometimes.
Now, do you welcome people to just come in and check out a book and just sit there and read?
Absolutely.
I know you do.
You can't fall asleep.
But for people that may not know, you're very welcome to just come in there and plop down and read.
We have areas set up for that. So we have an area that's called our VA living room.
Oh, okay.
So it is a multi-purpose room. So it is set up just like a living room. It was created at first for our VA telehealth center.
Okay.
And we still have that. It's not utilized as much as it had been in the past. I think, now that the pandemic's over, more people are getting out and traveling now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the younger veterans, they prefer to, go into town. But it's still utilized occasionally for an older veteran, and it also depends on doctors. Okay. Doctors have to be willing to allow the veteran to do a virtual visit.
Okay.
And that's slowed down a little bit, but that's still available. So a veteran.
That's good to know.
And it's not just for mental health issues that veterans can use it for. And I think sometimes that holds people back from using it because they don't want people to think, the stipulation with that. Yeah. But it can be as simple as a ear infection. You can use that room for telehealth. And so you do schedule those appointments not through us, but through the VA, your VA doctors who you would schedule that for. But when it's not being used as a telehealth, it's being used as a GED testing center.
Okay.
So I was
wondering what happened to that. I didn't know it was down there.
Yes, we are a Pearson View GED testing center.
Okay.
So last year we gave 149 GED tests.
Well, that's cool.
That's
awesome.
A big number. I know that seems small, but for a small town, that's a lot.
It's a lot for a small town.
And there's about 6 or 7 tests to an actual GED. So after all was said and done last year, we had 24 GEDs awarded
That's
in this
cool.
county. So, and I'll give credit where credit is due. The Adult Education Center is a big part of that. But they reached out to us, I'm wanting to say 4 years ago. It was shortly after I had started, because they weren't able to give GEDs at their facility, and there was nowhere in Jackson County that could give a GED.
Right.
So we are all, and I just want to throw this out there. If you're listening and you're a community business or you're a community organization, we love to partner. Like we love it that we have an outreach librarian whose one of her main job responsibilities is to coordinate with community partners.
Okay.
So that's one example of how we done that is we collaborated with the Adult Education Center, got the GED program, so they do all the education part of it. We help them with some things like unlock a book, and I'll talk about that in just a minute because it's my baby.
Okay.
And I love it. In the GEDs, we had 24 awarded. 5 of those were from incarcerated individuals.
Oh, wow. That's
in
big.
Jackson County, yes.
That's a big number.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if people really realize how big that is.
Yes, the challenges that our inmates face to be reintroduced into society is astronomical.
Yeah.
And it's a issue that's dear to my personal heart, not just as my librarian heart, but it's something that the library is there for, is to help that population as well. Not just inmates, but also our workforce.
Yeah.
Those that might have not graduated from high school by whatever situation.
Absolutely.
We're there to help them get back, on their feet. We have a part of our online resource that's available on our website is through KYVL. That's our Kentucky Virtual Library. So we're a part of that. It has a wealth of resources on there, and one of those being Learning Express.
Okay.
On Learning Express, you can take GED practice tests. You can take driver's tests. You can take nursing exam tests.
Wow.
It is all about adult education and all that. It's called Learning Express. You can practice. There's study materials. There's all kinds of things on there that you can use to help that.
I'm gonna run out of room here on these notes.
So that's one thing that we offer the community. Then back to the Unlock a Book program that we do. This program ties it all together. We started this last year. We started it in fall, I think, at the end of the year. So this year, I'm excited to get it started again, and the numbers will be huge because Unlock a Book program is where I've partnered with the Adult Education Center once again. It's a 2-part series. The inmates voluntarily participate in this if they want to, male, female. The first part of it is they sign up with the Adult Education Center, and they take a literacy class.
Okay.
Yeah. Teaches them the importance of early literacy.
Yeah.
And reading to your children.
Yeah.
I did some research when I was developing this program. The number of incarcerated adults that are illiterate is
pretty high, I'd say.
Very high.
Yeah.
And so that's only generational. If we can stop that, and so educating them on the importance of that, to read to your kids, even if you can't read, let them read, find books, look at pictures. Sing songs. So that's the first part. The second part, which is what I do, and I love it, is I go in with the inmates, one-on-one, each individual. So it's very, it's very emotional sometimes.
Oh, I imagine so.
So I have children's books. And I try to, this year, I didn't realize how important this program would be when I done it, and I just ordered a bunch of kids' books when I did it last year.
Yeah.
But this year, I'm going to order books that have meaning that can relate to the inmates or children who may have incarcerated parents or family members. So when they sign up for this, they have to have a child they want to send a book to. So it doesn't have to be their kid. It can be their sister.
Yeah.
It can be their granddaughter. And I go in, they read the book, I record it. them reading the book.
Yeah.
I mail the book and the recording to their family.
That's something else right there.
It is. I love it. And I have cried.
I would say so.
Watching these people, because I didn't realize it. There was a book that made me realize that the book that I have them choose, and they get to choose their own book, but I'm going to get a variety of books. The book that this lady chose was about, and I can't remember the exact name off the top of my head because I'm a little bit nervous.
You're doing good.
It was about facing your fear.
Okay.
It was about this little girl, and this bear. Mm-hmm. And this bear was afraid of everything.
Yeah.
And the little girl was constantly pushing the bear past his fear.
Okay.
And as she read it, she started to cry.
Oh,
and I started to cry. And I was like, I love my job.
Yeah.
And it was just wonderful. But that's one program that we do for
Imagine how emotional the child is.
Yeah.
When reading the book and following along with the person's voice.
And when we send out the books, we don't send anything because, they may not want. We try not to. We don't cross any boundaries. We don't get any personal information.
Oh, yeah.
Just address, name. We mail the book.
Yeah.
So I would love to see their reaction when they get it.
I'd say it'd be amazing.
I never will, but
I'd say it'd be amazing.
But that's one of the things I just love, and that's the kind of programs that the library is developing right now, in a world that's changing.
Yeah. Now, the inmates that you're talking about, that you help get the GEDs and stuff, are those the inmates I'm seeing on Facebook?
That get the GED in the newspaper?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I didn't know how that was going
happening,
or how that was happening. So it's good to finally know.
Yep.
So you all are doing that.
Yeah. They bring them down, and we log them on. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, now I know. Mm-hmm. I was wondering, I was like, how are they doing this? I mean, I know they've got access to certain things in there, but I didn't know where that was coming from. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Now this program that you're talking about, that you just mentioned, that you're over, that could change the whole path of somebody's life.
Absolutely.
Right there. That's really deep stuff. I feel like to have a book that they know that their mom or dad has read, and they're getting to follow along with their voice.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there was an event at the jail not long ago where some of these parents hadn't seen their kids in a very long time.
I seen that.
Did you see that?
Yes,
that was something else.
That was historical.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
I'm sure any child that has a parent that's incarcerated or whatever would love to be able to just pick something up and hear their voice at any time.
Yes.
That's something else right there. Y'all doing a good thing. That's amazing. Excuse me. Now, this is what else you got going on? I know you got something else.
Because there's something I had forgot about. We do, back on the Unlock a Book program, a lot of our programs, we do have books that we, circulate in our collection that kids come in, they check out, and they take them back home, or adults come in, they check out, take them home, bring them back. But we also utilize a fair amount of our budget for putting books in the hands of children. So last year we gave out 5,472 free books for the community. Wow. So like at our Boo Fest, we handed out books.
Okay.
So at our Christmas program, we handed out books. At Easter, we handed out like 89 Easter baskets at the fair's annual egg drop. I don't know if you've heard of that, but the fair does an annual egg drop every year in McKee. So we started partnering with them a couple years ago, and we bring baskets that's usually got candy in them and a free book. So that's part of the programs that we do. We are getting ready right now for our annual summer reading.
Okay.
So summer reading is a huge thing that if you haven't signed your children up to participate in summer reading, you were talking about the importance of reading, education-wise and success-wise. I think there's a statistic out there that says if a child's not reading by third grade, their chances of success, long-term educational success, however that's measured, drops drastically.
I think I've read that.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we try to do is we partner with different organizations and stuff in the community to do the summer reading, but it's mainly our baby, so we really try to push it to motivate our kindergartners all the way up to 12th grade.
Okay.
To read, to maintain their skills during summer break. Because there is a deficit that happens.
Oh, yeah. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why summer reading was ever invented, was to try to keep as much of that deficit from happening. So last year we had our summer reading challenge. 4,188 books were read. Cool. Just from the kids that participated in that challenge.
That's awesome.
We had 467 kids that attended our in-person programming that we had during the summer that was geared toward children, geared toward literacy and summer reading. So that's a pretty good turnout, but I would love to see those numbers even higher, because it's a big need. So this year our summer reading theme is adventure. Okay. So we've got a hook and cook thing planned.
Okay, I know what you're talking about there.
That's in May 18th. The Fish and Wildlife guys coming down.
So you can go rent a fishing pole or check out a fishing pole and go fish, and then come take part in that.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
You can. So, but that day our hook and cook class is going to be a whole day on a Saturday. So you come to the library. He's going to show you all the tools with the fishing pole, how to hook your bait, how to fish. Get that all set up. He's going to have fish there. We're not going to cook your fish, because that would be a little... nobody getting sick. But he's bringing fish, and he's going to show you how to cook, how to flay it, how to cook, how to prepare it. Wow. And then we're going to go up to...
That's biblical right there.
Yes. And then after he teaches us how to cook and clean, we're going to go up to... Tyner Lake. Mm-hmm. Is that what it's called?
I call it Tyner Lake. It's Beulah Lake.
Yeah, Lake Beulah.
I still call it Tyner Lake.
We're going to go up to Lake Beulah. We'll have fishing poles for everybody to use. We'll have bait. And we'll have fish.
There's so much more y'all are doing than just checking out books to people.
Yes. We also have planned, and I'm almost got it finalized, so I'm hoping that I say this, it just speaks it into existence. There's a mobile well exhibit that's going to come to Kentucky. First time it's been in Kentucky.
Mobile? No, you don't have to explain what that is.
I know, right? It's June 28th. We have to have 3 libraries that say they want it. So we're waiting on the third one.
Right.
To say they want it. So it's contingent upon the third one, because it's a big ordeal to bring this well exhibit to Kentucky, because they're not from here. But it is a well. They said my room needed to be, it's 30 feet wide and like 40 feet long. Yeah. It is literally, Jonah and the whale sort of thing, if you want to picture that. Yeah. But it's a whale exhibit that talks about the whale, the lifespan, taking care of the ocean. And it's a learning exhibit. Yeah. But also it has real whale bones. You get to walk inside the whale and see what it looks like inside a whale. Wow. That's coming on June 28th from 6 to 8. And we'll be putting that on our website. It will be a registered event, because only 20 people at a time can go into the well. Okay. So it will be a registered time slot kind of event. Okay. So we'll be putting that on there. But even if we don't get that one, our summer reading is going to be full of adventure, camping. We've got some ideas. We've not got everything planned out, but we'll be releasing that calendar very soon. Okay. And then every year with summer reading, we do our challenge, which is what I talked about earlier, and we have a point store. Our kids love the point store. So if they read, they get rewarded. Okay. So, it's based on, we have different challenges for different ages usually. Mm-hmm. For example, if you're in our children's challenge, if you read one book, you usually get 1 point. Right. And we try to get every child to read at least 100 books.
Yeah.
That's the goal, is 100 books. So they can get 100 points to come in and buy cotton candy or slime. I think the last year our most popular prize item was a 3-foot-long gummy snake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've seen those.
You know, I know if you're a parent and it's those toys that the kids grab on their way out, those little obnoxious things that you step on in the middle of the night, but they love it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you said there is a difference in, you mentioned earlier, a historical library as opposed to a public library. Mm-hmm. Now, do y'all, I don't know if this is that or whatever, but do y'all like carry newspapers, old newspapers, like about the county and stuff like that?
We do.
Historical newspapers?
We do. We absolutely do. So we are a public library. So we don't have all the history of the United States.
Right.
But we do have a genealogy room. It's called our Kentucky room.
That's something I'm gonna come down there and check out.
So we have a book about cemeteries, and we have maps of the county.
Okay.
We have books, and I will give credit to our genealogist Bob Blanchard. He used to work there. He doesn't work there anymore, but he I think he worked around 5 years. And don't hold me to that because I'm not looking at his records. But he was there. He left right during the pandemic was when he left. And we've not really had a budget we're a small library, so to pay a full-time genealogist is not in our budget. But if people bring things in, we have a room where we put those things and we catalog those things.
That's something I'd be really interested in.
We have books that's lined on the wall that's got and this is what Bob done when he was there. He put them by last name and has a lot of information linked to it. So if you're into genealogy research, there's a lot of stuff down there. You might have to get your hands dirty and dig through it because none of us put it together. If Bob was there, he knew exactly where to find whatever. But it's there in the room. We have newspapers. We have microfilm, like old newspapers on microfilm.
Oh, sweet.
That you can scroll back
so
through.
much on these old newspapers I want to see.
Yes, so that's there. Then we also have like veterans and Army records, like pictures and stuff. We have a book of those in there. So like, we only have what people have submitted. So, we may not have your grandfather's picture in there, but if you have your grandfather's picture and you've got his paper that shows he was in the Army and has his picture, we'll add it.
Well, yeah.
But there's lots of information in that room, and also Kentucky authors and books. We never get rid of a book that was written by a Kentucky author.
Oh yeah.
So we do keep Kentucky Jackson County history.
That's good.
We don't have a lot of stuff like on surrounding counties and stuff, but we do try to keep everything about Jackson County.
Now somebody, I told them, a buddy of mine, that you was coming on here, and he wanted me to ask if you have yearbooks.
We do.
Okay.
We have several that are missing. If anybody ever has yearbooks that they want to donate, we would take them because we do have some missing.
Okay.
But we do have a select amount of yearbooks.
Okay. He wanted me to ask that because he's kind of in the same boat I am. I regret this, but I never did, that I remember, get a yearbook from when I was in school.
Yeah.
I just didn't buy one. I don't know why, but I regret that now. So whether or not it's down there or whatever, that's an option for somebody that, it may be your school
we don't have
yearbook
all of
maybe
them.
down there.
We don't have all of them, but there are a few.
Okay. That's good to know.
Select ones, yep.
That genealogy stuff, I'm really interested in seeing and coming down there and looking at that.
Here's something that you may not know, but you can have access to Ancestry.com at the library too.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Computers.
Yeah. I am interested in that.
Yep.
There's a lot going on in that small building you're talking about.
Sure. And you were talking about newspapers. I know. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but it's happened to me several times. You'll be on Facebook, and there'll be a news article that pops up.
Yeah.
And you click it.
Yeah.
And then they want you to pay for it because it's like from the Herald Leader or America's News or whatever. We have a subscription to America's News.
Okay.
Yep. So with your library card on our website, you can go and we have access. You can have access for free to those mainstream newspapers.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And a lot of people don't know that. But yeah, don't ever pay for those.
Yeah, that happens to me pretty much every day.
Yeah.
I'm clicking on
I'm
something.
not saying we have every single one you've ever clicked on, but
Yeah.
we have the most popular ones. It's called America's News. So it's got things like the Herald Leader, USA Today, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. Now I want to tell you, feel free to post any information about the library on this podcast Facebook page. Any events, whatever. There's a lot of people on that Facebook page. So anytime you've got something going on, post it on there, let everybody know, because everybody's got Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, but even then, you know, a lot of people don't get to see stuff, or they're scrolling through something, or they miss something or whatever. So feel free to post whatever on there, or you can send it to me and I'll post it or whatever. Am I allowed to take a picture of that?
You can have this.
Okay, that's awesome. Because I can post this on. I probably can add this to this episode, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
That is something we started working on this year. We wanted people, because we hear that all the time. People come in, new people, and they're like, I didn't know that was in here. I didn't know that was in here.
Yeah.
And then also, I mean, you know, I feel like as this community's public library, it's for this community, and they need to know what we're doing, what, you know, is what the budget is going toward, and know that we care enough to actually calculate numbers and record and keep statistics. So everything that we do, we are required to keep an annual report on.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called an annual report. We submit it to the powers that be, and it asks us everything that we do is recorded. Every person that comes into the building, you know, how many people came in the library today, we record, because we want to see what's being used. Because if it's not being used, we don't want to put our budget to that. We want to put it to something that our community.
That makes sense. You don't want to waste money on something that's not being used.
No.
I totally understand that. Everybody else should too. It sounds to me like that y'all are just absolutely doing what needs to be done and what people really want in their library, which is why I wanted to get you down here, because I know there's a lot of people that uses the library, but there's also a lot of people that probably, like I said earlier, just think, well, it's just books and stuff like that. But I've got a whole page and a half almost of programs and events and stuff like that I never knew about.
Yeah.
And, you know, I read a lot. You know, so I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't know about this stuff. So that's the main reason why I want you to come down here.
When we develop our programs, back to what I said before, access equals opportunity.
Yeah.
Like I have a little girl who's 9, and she had the opportunity because I could pay for it. Not to say that I've got a lot of money, by no means.
Right.
But I could pay for her to go to dance class. That's
Really?
an opportunity for her.
Yeah.
But there's people in our community that doesn't have the opportunity to go to dance class.
Yeah.
So one of our programs we done last summer, and we'll probably do another one this summer, is the dance instructor at Foundation Dance Academy in Annville comes to the library and does a free dance class.
That's awesome.
So that, you know, every little girl that's ever wanted to go to a dance class has that opportunity.
Yeah.
So whenever I think about access, I think about, what does our community need? What opportunity do they need?
Yeah.
So that's what we do. That's what the library has turned into. Yes, we have books. We will always have books.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can see from the diagram there, books are still a huge part of what we do.
Yeah, they are.
And that might surprise some people. You know, because a lot of people still, you know, you can download books and, you know, you can buy books a lot easier than you used to could. There's a calmness, though, about a library. They really are. It's
I've never heard of anything bad happening in the library.
We are open to all. It doesn't matter where you're from, who you are, you know, how much money you have, if you stink or you smell like roses. It is open to you. You can come in and not have any reason to be there, and nobody's going to look at you strange. Right. You can just go in, sit down at a table.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing we ask you not to do is sleep. You're not allowed to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be. That wouldn't be. That'd be rude.
But that you can come in. We even have a coffee bar. So,
what?
Yes, it's a coffee bar.
How long has that been there?
I put that in last summer.
Okay, because I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's a Keurig station. It's kind of like there's a little Keurig set up. We've got your sugar, your artificial sweetener. You can do hot chocolate, tea, and coffee.
Oh, Lord.
And you can come in, and it's not free. If I said it was free, people would just be taking it out the door.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the first one's on me. Tell them if you come and see, say, I heard on the podcast, the first one's on Ashley.
Oh, okay. That's good. So you heard it there.
Come in. Yeah. Come in, get yourself a cup of coffee, and check out. Yeah. Check out what we have to offer. Yeah. I'm going to mention this because it just, sometimes things just pop in my brain, and I don't want to forget it. We also have a makerspace. A makerspace. Okay. So it's not running at its full potential right now.
Okay.
Because our 3D printer got messed up, and then our vinyl cutter got messed up, and I'm not had time to fix those. Yeah. But in the future, hopefully near future, we're going to have a makerspace. We have one, but it's not got all of its components just yet. Right now, you can come in if you have a school assignment. You can use. We have supplies, art supplies.
Oh.
So if a teacher sent home an assignment to make a Tyrannosaurium that represents an ocean environment. I know you've probably done that with your little boy, something along those lines, and you're struggling, and you can't run to the dollar store and spend $30 on art supplies.
Oh boy, that'll come in handy.
You can come to the library, and even if you can't afford it, you can come to the library, and we have a entire shelf, rolly cart that's got these little compartments on it. It's got felt, it's got paper, it's got glue, it's got tape, it's got little fuzzy balls, it's got beads. I can't promise it's going to have exactly what you might have dreamed up, but we have a wealth of crafting supplies.
That's
that
awesome.
You can use on your school project, absolutely free.
Wow. That means the world to people. They just don't even know it.
Yes. So that's in our makerspace. We also have a like circuits that kids can come in and play with, like electrical circuits that they can kind of play with. And then we have Legos. We have these little connecting links that they can build stuff with. So when you think makerspace, think maker.
Yeah.
It's stuff to make
You're
things
making
with.
something.
Yes.
That's cool.
So it's a room full of stuff to make things with. STEM learning activities, if you will.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that we got a grant for right before the pandemic, and they shut us down before we could open it. And then by the time it rolled around, my 3D printer had done quit working, and so hopefully we'll have it to its full potential within this year, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you will. Yep. I'm sure you will. It sounds like you all are really on top of your game down there. I'm really impressed. I'm kind of actually blown away, really, by everything that's available to everybody. I never really thought that you'd have so much to tell, but I knew that it was just a plethora of knowledge and stuff like that, but I really didn't understand how deep it went and how much of a reach that you all have and what you bring to the library. It's really impressive. Yeah. I'm sure I don't know anybody that couldn't take advantage of something that you all offer down there.
And that's what our goal is to be something for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
You may not need help with workforce development or, signing up for applications, but you could use a printer. We also do poster prints. So, like, if you're having a yard sale and you need a poster printed that says yard sale this way, we can print a poster. Wow. We have lamination, so we can do full-scale lamination if you need that. I mean, it's notary service. It's free. I see stuff on Facebook all the time. Is there a notary?
I do too.
Is there a notary?
Is there a notary in the house?
And I'm like, at the library.
Yeah.
And it's free. We don't charge.
That's really useful. Everything down there.
And I'm not even, like, I'm just skimming the surface.
Yeah.
I really am.
But we can keep going.
Because, I mean, no, I could be here all day.
Well, you may have to come back.
Because there's no limit to what we can serve our community in the library. If you need access to something,
that's where to go.
Yep, come to the library. If it's something you're just scratching your head, and you don't know where to go. Yeah. If we can't do it, we can help you find where you're supposed to go.
Now I want. Did you was talking about the GEDs, and I don't know if I wrote this down or not, but you serve the public too getting their GEDs, right?
Yes.
Not just the inmates at the jail.
Yeah.
Right?
So out of the 24 GEDs that were given last year, 5 were inmates.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I did write that down, but I didn't.
Yep.
Yeah. So 5 of those were the incarcerated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do serve the public.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna try to put that. I'll definitely put it up on the Facebook page. But yeah, anytime you got anything going on that you want to put out there to people, post it on that Facebook page, or if you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Or I will, either one. If you ain't got time, it sounds like you're real busy. So I'll be happy to post it for you. But everybody needs to at least just go down there.
Yeah.
And see what's available to them. I'm sure there's like a whole big list of what somebody, hey, I wonder if they got this. Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah.
Type of situation. So I'm going to go down there.
Our doors are always open. And the request form is always there if there's something that you want us to do. I know a few years ago we sent out a community survey.
Okay.
Even. But, anytime we're open for suggestions. We're open for ideas. We're open for partnerships. We are right now partnering with Lynette from Sangap to do what's hopefully going to happen.
I think I know what you're talking about.
A Got Talent show.
Yes. That's going to be awesome.
Yes. So that's in the works because, I mean, we need to pull this county together and do some stuff. Really do. That shows, I don't know, just how great we are. Jackson County is wonderful. It is. Yeah. I talked about how many new card signups that we were getting. A lot of those have been new people from out of Jackson County. People are moving here. Oh yeah, there's been a huge influx of people in the last few years in this county. Yes. But what you said really, having this podcast has actually given me a little bit of an advantage to see the talent at what's out there in this county, and it's amazing. Yes. It really is amazing. You've got people that work with all different kinds of mediums that are amazing people, amazing artists, musicians, the creative community, the creative community. Yes, they're huge in showcasing that, and they're working on a lot of big things. And they were on the podcast actually. So yeah, anytime you can showcase the community, I'm all for it. Yeah. I'm hoping that it all works out, and we are taking sponsors for that. We're going to be going out tomorrow, so you might see me. Okay. But we will be getting that lined out. We're in the very beginning stages of it, but with Lynette, she's a go-getter. I love Lynette. We partner with her a lot. We do the story time in Sangap at her community building there. Yeah. Because Sangap is so far from McKee. It feels that way. That's where I'm from. I'm from Sangap. Okay. That's where I live. And I see a lot of the people I know from McKee, and people from Anvil will come to McKee, but a lot of times Sangap doesn't come. So we're trying to reach out and do outside the library these community events, so that if you can't come to McKee. And, that's a big possibility where this county is so geographically divided, too. It really is, yeah. Where we bring those resources to you. It does kind of feel that way from one end to the county to the other, and you kind of feel like it's
they're just so different.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't
Yeah.
know whether it's the road
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
winding or
Yeah.
whatever, but it seems like such a
Yes.
far distance, but it's really not.
We have our outreach vehicle, which I got. It is, you might have seen it driving around town. It is sharp. It is a new Suburban that's got the library's information all over
I think
it.
I have seen it.
Yes, so I got that with a grant.
That's awesome.
And it's 4-wheel drive. It gets us up into these. I mean, sometimes our patrons that we deliver those food boxes to.
Yep.
It gets us up into those hills where we can drop off food boxes, but it's also a way for us to pick up things that we take to the schools and try to eliminate that barrier between the ends of the county.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's some of these places. I mean, Jackson County's full of back roads and stuff that you need 4-wheel drive to get up there.
Our bookmobile couldn't get to it.
No, I wouldn't imagine it'd do very well.
When the grant came around for an outreach vehicle, I was like, I bet I could get that with the way our community's set up. And sure enough, we got that all paid for with the grant.
Now, how does people find out about how to maybe sponsor this?
The talent show thing. They can call Lynette or me. I have a form that you'll need to fill out.
Okay.
So there's 3 tiers of sponsorship that you can sponsor. So for $2,000, you get a spot at the talent show to get up and advertise, and you can set up a vendor tent if you want to.
Oh, cool.
We expect this to be huge. It's going to be huge.
I believe it will
this
too.
This is not just a kids' talent show. This is a Jackson County's Got Talent. Talent show that we're going to put together. Lynette's like me. We don't do anything little.
No.
So, and then for $1,000, you get your name on a T-shirt that's going to be your logo. And then for $250, you'll get all of your name on all of our digital flyers and stuff like that. So
that's cool.
For $2,000, you get all of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But
but
I'll be publishing that soon. The sponsorship flyer that people can just print out and mail to us.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, and then you can donate any amount that you want to.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can do that, because it's going to be huge, and we're hoping to do big prizes.
Okay.
I mean, big prizes for the winners.
Well, you all have definitely got some good heads on your shoulders to make it happen. I know. I'm really excited. I'm going to come watch that.
Yeah.
Whenever it is. Has there been an announcement date?
There's not been a date set.
Okay, I didn't think so.
We're still getting all of our ducks in a row, so to speak. If we'll probably more than likely be doing it at the auditorium at the old high school or at the new high school.
Right. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And it's going to be big. We're going to do auditions. So the official talent show is not going to be it's going to be good.
Oh yeah.
Because we're going to do auditions. So you have to pass auditions.
Are you going to have one really mean judge? Like Simon
Like
Cowell?
Simon, yes. Are you up for that?
I probably could be. I can be brutally honest.
With our judges, we're going to try to get good judges, and we're going to reach outside the community for our judges, we're going to get judges.
I would.
Me and Hurst talked about it. We're going to get judges that have a qualification to be the judge.
You want somebody
something in the
unbiased, too.
ministry, in the music. Industry, maybe someone that's in performing arts industry.
That's a good idea.
That's kind of what we're going for.
You don't want nobody that knows somebody.
We don't want none of that.
You don't want no
we
favoritism.
want somebody completely unbiased, and they won't see the auditions either. Now the auditions will be done by local people.
Yeah.
But we're just doing that because we don't want to. If we opened it up to everybody without auditions, it would be a 3-night event.
It'd be pandemonium.
Yes. So we're going to do all the auditions and then pick our top contenders.
That's going to be
if
really
you don't get
cool.
picked, that's not going to mean that you're bad.
Yeah.
And talent shows have a lot of meaning to them.
They do.
So, and whenever I do any kind of program that we do, I always try to have a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so with a talent show, that teaches people to pursue their passions, you know. And that teaches people to, if you fail, if you come to auditions and you don't make it this year, try again next year.
Oh, absolutely.
Do not stop until you keep trying.
It could be very big. It could inspire somebody to actually follow some type of dream that they have.
Like you said a while ago, this kind of event could change somebody's life.
It really could.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yes.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably going to be some very funny acts, too. I can't wait to
I would love if a comedian would come.
That,
it's not just going to be music. It is
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Whatever you can showcase.
Yeah, that's going to be
Magic, music.
I'd like to see some ventriloquists get up there. I love ventriloquists.
Wouldn't it be cool if we had a ventriloquist in this county?
I'd say we do.
I bet.
They just ain't stepped forward. Yeah. Now's the time.
Yes.
There's a big event coming up.
Yep.
You need to step forward. If you're a ventriloquist, I love watching ventriloquists.
And I think we're going to have the grand prize is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah?
Like,
really big.
K huge, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. All
and
right.
that is going to get...
That's going
to get attention.
That's going to open some doors.
Wouldn't you come if you knew someone was going to win?
Heck yeah, I would. I would just want to see their face when they win.
Yes. So we want people to come out. We want community support. We want entertainment.
Yeah.
And we want to change people's lives. And something like this could do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope it's an annual thing, too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if it goes well,
I
think it will be.
Well, if there's anything I can do to let me know, because I would love for it to be an every year thing. An annual thing. That'd be awesome. I'd go every year.
Yeah.
Just watch. I wouldn't enter. I ain't got no talent.
No talent?
I ain't got no talent
Hey,
whatsoever.
you can talk. Do a podcast.
Yeah, I can do a podcast. That's about it.
No, I'm excited. I think it'll be really good.
Oh, it will be, no doubt. I really appreciate you coming and talking about the library. I really had no idea it went as deep as it does, and just the wealth of knowledge that's down there. And I hope people really take advantage of it, because there's, you can go read books all day long, but there's like life-altering resources down there that people can take part of that can really help them out. From getting your GED, applying to a job, and having a successful career.
And resume building.
Yes, resume building. You got to have a resume nowadays, like you said.
Anything. It's an open door. Just remember, think library, think open door. Think question, think library has the answer. The
library has pretty much made a path for somebody from start to begin, from beginning to end.
Do you know what I call that?
What is it?
It's called cradle to grave programming.
That's a really good name for it.
We do cradle to grave.
I will say the same thing.
Cradle to grave programming. That's where there is something for everybody.
That is a really good name for it, because you talk about from infant all the way up.
Yeah, we have senior resources too. I didn't even talk about those. There's a whole tab on our webpage for seniors. Yes.
Well, this ain't going to be the first time you're here. I'm sure I'll have you back. I'll ask you to come back and talk about it. And anytime you've got something you want to come talk about, please let me know. I'd welcome you. Yeah. And I don't want to say, but you mentioned something before we start recording that I'm really excited about. I want to. Yes. So you'll be back for that, obviously. That's going to be really awesome. I want to get that done for sure. And, thank you for coming. I really enjoyed talking about it. Appreciate everybody listening, and we'll see you next time. Y'all have a good one.